Hi everyone, I'm going to be reading to you guys tonight, and we're going to be listening to Hooway for Wodney Wat. So I've got a question for you guys. How many of you have mispronounced a word? Or how many of you maybe used to speak a little bit differently than the rest of your friends in the class? It's pretty common among younger children to maybe say things a little bit differently than adults might like them to say, or even than maybe some of their other friends might say words. So, Wodney Wat would be a really great book for, I'd say, K through second grade, but since it's kind of dealing with bullying, I think it's something that could even be a good book for third or fourth grade, depending on your classroom and, if you think that it's a topic that needs to be talked about. So now we're going to get right into it. We're going to be listening to Hooway for Wodney Wat. It's written by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Poor Wodney. Wodney Wat. His real name was Rodney Rat, but he couldn't pronounce his R's. To make matters worse, he was a rodent. A wodent. "What's your name?" asked the other rodents. "Wodney Wat," whispered Wodney. "What's another name for a bunny?" they asked knowingly. "Wabbit," he mumbled. "And how does a train travel?" they winked at each other. "A twain travels on twain tracks," Wodney replied miserably. All this teasing, day in and day out, made Wodney the shyest rodent in elementary school. His squeak could barely be heard in class. He gnawed at lunch alone. And while the other rodents scurried and scooted about at recess, Wodney hid in his jacket. Then one day, as the other rodents were taking turns doing wheelies, a new rodent, a very large rodent, barged into the classroom and announced, "My name is Camilla Capybara. I'm bigger than any of you, I'm meaner than any of you, and I'm smarter than any of you." Then she added, "So there." With that, she accidentally on purpose elbowed an ear, bumped 2 noses, stepped on 3 tails, and laid down on a desk. Fur prickled in fear throughout the classroom. She was bigger than any of them. She sure looked meaner than any of them. But was she smarter than any of them? "What's 2 plus 2?" asked Miss Fizzleworth. "4!" shouted Camilla Capybara, without even bothering to raise her paw. "And furthermore, 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 243 plus 125 is 368. Later, when Miss Fizzleworth asks, "What's the capital of—" Camilla interrupted. "New York, Albany. Population 295,594. During science, in an answer to the question, "What part of a plant is below the ground?" Camilla Capybara danced on her desk and sang, "Root, root, rooty, toot, toot, toot." Yup, thought all the other rodents. She's smarter than we are, too. They felt very uncomfortable. How would you guys feel if a big, huge, mean rodent or person barged into our classroom when we were trying to do a read aloud or have a discussion or something, and just pushed all of us on the ground and showed us up by being way smarter than we were? I don't know about you guys, but I personally would be a little bit scared. Every afternoon, just before the final recess, Miss Fizzleworth drew a name from a hat to see who would be the leader of their favorite game, Simon Says. She scrunched her eyes closed and jiggled the hat. Would it be Hairy Hamster? Minnie Feet Mouse? Gizzle Frizz Guinea Pig? Could it be big, mean, smart Camilla Capybara? Miss Fizzleworth's paw reached in and pulled out the name of Wodney Wat! The bell rang and there was a wild scurry for the door, and Camilla Capybara was the first one on the playground, having trampled the others in her path. To Wodney, she looked especially scary. What would she do when she heard him speak? Breathe capybara breath in his face? Or tie him up in his own tail? Or even pounce on him? The tiny, trembling leader of the game stood before the eager players, his head well inside his jacket, and squeaked, "Wodney says, read the sign," while the other rodents read, "P.S. 142 Elementary School for Rodents." Camilla began pulling up weeds around the sign and wildly flinging them hither and yon till she was clear up to her teeth in dirt. The other rodents began to smile. Do you guys think that maybe Camilla thought Wodney meant something else by weed the sign? Sounds like she's not understanding him too well. Wodney says, "Wrap your paws around your head." He peeked a little bit through his jacket and saw, "Whap, whap, whappity slappity whap." Camilla was wrapping her paws around her head so hard that she became dizzy, gave herself a headache, and had to sit down. The other rodents couldn't help but giggle. Wodney says, "Play wing around the rosy." Camilla put her arms up like wings and made an airplane noise. But where was the wosy? What was a wosy? By now, Wodney's voice was stronger, and his head was entirely out of his jacket. "Wake the leaves!" Nobody moved. Wodney says, Wake the Leaves. While Harry, Minifeet, and Grizzlefrizz and the others busied themselves raking, Camilla Capybara grabbed one leaf. "Wake up!" she yelled. She snatched another. "Come on, you! Up, up, up!" And another, "Rise and shine!" And another, "Boo!" By now, all the other rodents were squealing with laughter. All but Camilla, who frowned. "Stupid leaves, they won't wake up." And why was everyone laughing at her? Such bullies. I bet Camilla's not feeling very good about all this either right about now. In a voice so strong that he had to hold his own ears, Wodney called, "Wodney says go west!" The rodents collapsed in a happy heap for a rest. Go west. Camilla Capybara, feeling very smart that she could tell direction by the sun, said, "All right. I shall go west." And then she added, "So there." West she stomped. Forever. She was gone. And from that day on, pupils at PS 142 Elementary School for Rodents never teased Wodney again. He was their hero. "Hooray for Wodney Wat!" they called. "Woot, woot, wooty toot, toot, toot!" Thanks so much, everyone, for listening. Hope you're having a great week.